When the 2024 USCE results were released, students across Uganda were jubilating in anticipation for university. However, for John, it was a different story. John, not his real name, received his results for his BCM combination, and he had scored 16 points. To him, this was not something worth celebrating. A week later, he reached out to us, inquiring if he could pursue a higher education access certificate. Now, most people have always thought of this, that in case I score, my A-level results are not impressive and are not likely to compete for my dream bachelor's program in a public university, then they tend to go for a higher education access certificate. Now, that is a very big mistake that most of you are making. A higher education access certificate is for people who have no alternatives. That is, people who have done A-level or its equivalent and do not have the two principal passes and a subsidiary to pursue a bachelor's degree, or the one principal pass and the two subsidiaries in the principal subjects who cannot pursue a diploma. Now, such people, if in this gentleman's story, if the gentleman had scored only the subsidiary passes, let's say O in biology or in chemistry, and let's say O or a principal pass in mathematics, and he wanted to do a course where the principal subjects are biology and chemistry, and they don't have any principal pass in any of them, then they would be the right candidate to do a higher education access certificate. So for someone who has 16 points, has an A in mathematics, has a B in chemistry, and has a D in biology, and has principal point in the subsidiary subjects, that is the general paper and subsidiary ICT, this candidate is not the best and should not be enrolled for a higher education access certificate. Previously, there was a recording we made here trying to tell you that there were so many students who had denied entry into Mbarara University of Science and Technology because they had been regarded overqualified in quotes. Because these are the people who had 3 principal passes and had as high as 16 points, like for this case. This gentleman, when we look at the biology and chemistry, where he wants to pursue a medical program where the principal subjects are biology and chemistry, his weights are around 42. So a 42 may not be so competitive in some of the institutions, especially if you're targeting a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Nursing, and a Bachelor of Pharmacy. Those are some of the programs that most people compete for. So it may not be competitive. We tried to talk to this individual and ask them if they had intentions of pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Education, Mathematics and Chemistry. And the candidate didn't seem interested. Now, when we discussed this result, we told the candidate that they could be admitted in a public universities, which they think they can afford, tuition-wise, but they need to look at the previous weights for these institutions for the 2024-2025 before they make a decision on where to apply. But then, nevertheless, they can apply in most of the institutions that have those courses that people have dreamt of. But going for higher education access certificate, which is just a transitional course, it only gives you an admission to the university if you don't have the minimum grades, but it is not a paper that you can recommend for anyone who has had the minimum requirements. So if someone meets the principal passes, there's absolutely no reason for them going for a higher education access certificate. I'm not trying to demean the higher education access certificate and the National Council for Higher Education that introduced it, but trying to tell you that it's just a transitional program. It's not a professional paper that after completing this, you are available for employability. It's not in any case going to help you for that. It's just a transitional course. It should be only a reserve for those who think they don't have the requirements, and that is the only option they have. So please, pursuing a higher education access certificate when you have the 3 principal passes like this and as high as 16 points is something that we really discourage, because there's no guarantee that even after completing your HEC, you're going to be admitted for that dream course. There's a possibility that you may go with your 16 points and don't emerge among the 2 or 3 or the 4 who are going to be admitted for their dream bachelor's program. Remember, we told you that you should aim and ensure that you study your higher education access certificate in an institution that has that degree that you intend to pursue. If you have any inquiries, you can visit our office, which is located in Kamocha, market area, plot 29, block 29, plot 888, or you can contact our office number, which is 0393 242046, also available on WhatsApp.